Glover Teixeira versus Jiri Prochazka just took place in the main event of UFC 275, Teixeira versus Prochazka, and oh my god, I need to kind of compose myself before I even begin to try and break down this fight. This is, in my opinion, as of right now, before I do any research or anything like that, the best light heavyweight title fight in the history of the UFC. Probably the best light heavyweight fight in the history of the UFC. I know John Jones versus Gustafsson is hailed as that, but I think this beats that fight in terms of excitement. 100%. This was an amazing contest, and I did not see this coming whatsoever. I actually said the best bet to make, outside of me picking Glover Teixeira to win, was to say that this fight does not go over 2.5 rounds because it was pretty good odds, and I was so wrong. Both of these men have toughness for days, durability for days. Both of their chins are amazing. I was so impressed with the chin of Glover Teixeira. He took some big combinations off of Jiri Prochazka and he kept coming. Jiri was digging to the body and Glover just would not go down. He would shoot a takedown and sort of find his way out of it and maybe find himself on top. This was a crazy... I was going crazy after this fight. If you want to go back and look at my live reaction to what was happening after this, Jiri finishes him in the 5th round. Let me get to that. Jiri finishes this man. Round 5, after everything that he went through in that fight. He was losing that fight. He was on his way, on the scorecards, to losing that fight. And he comes back in the 5th round with one last burst of energy that he had. I don't know how he has this energy to tap into in round 5 after a war like that where they're both exhausted. He's like, I need to do something to win. I'm on bottom with a minute to go against Glover Teixeira, and he kicks himself up from on bottom by using the cage, finds himself on top, and he just makes it happen with a rear naked choke finish. Michael Bisping said it was exhaustion, but no, it was an rear naked choke, locked up. He used all of his might to squeeze on it, and Glover had to tap. I mean, this was crazy. It had everything. The best light heavyweight matchup I've ever seen. One of the best fights I've seen as well, for sure. Fight of the year, maybe so far, I would say. I mean, this was crazy. I was expecting Jiri, if he won, to finish Glover in the 1st round or 2nd round. And it nearly happened at one point in the 2nd. It nearly happened in many occasions in that fight where Jiri would have Glover wobbled and hurt and maybe go for him, and then Glover would shoot and Jiri would end up on bottom, or Jiri would have a bit of a bad decision moment and end up on bottom or end up in a grappling exchange. But I can't believe this matchup. I can't believe what happened here. 5 rounds of that. I never thought that was going to happen. Past round 2, I was like, there's no way this goes into round 3. In round 3, I was like, there's no way this makes it to round 4. In round 4, I was like, there's no way this makes it to round 5. Can I just say, Jiri is a superstar. Glover is respected forever as an OG. I wanted Glover out of the title picture because he was an older guy and a little bit unmarketable, and Jiri was the marketable up-and-comer that would sell the pay-per-views. Respect to Glover Teixeira's toughness and durability. But no one's talking about Jiri enough. I had Jiri as the underdog. I know the odds didn't, and everyone picked Jiri to win. I picked Glover Teixeira to go out there and expose Jiri on the ground and submit him in like the 1st or 2nd round. It didn't happen that way. But Glover did have big moments. But Jiri, you can't finish. Earlier on, he was finished in his career. This new Jiri, you can't finish this man. Full mount, Glover Teixeira raining down shots on Jiri. Jiri's covering up, moving his head, bucking himself out of bad positions, finding a way to hold on, surviving till the end of the rounds. I mean, it was the cut over his eye. I thought they were going to call off the fight. Someone said in my chat, Nate Diaz needs to be in. I can't believe it. By the way, there was a guy in my stream who donated $200. Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate the $200 so much indeed. Thank you, by the way. I missed it. I left the stream and someone donated $200. And it was crazy. And I really appreciate that, man. So much, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, man, for the $2. I think his name was Eric K. was his name or something along those lines. And I really appreciate you. But this fight was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I loved every second of it. Round 4. Let's talk about everything. Round 1. Glover takes down Jiri early. Jiri has some moments on the feet of landing some shots here and there. Misses a couple of shots. Glover lands a couple of them himself. And he takes down Jiri, ends up on top, has big moments on top, landing big shots. Jiri survives, finds his way out of it, works his way back up to his feet. Had great grappling. Really good. Think about what Glover did to Anthony Smith on the ground. Smith had no success. Blachowicz had 0 success on the ground. Santos had 0 success. Everyone who Glover has ended up on top of has done nothing to change that position. And Jiri found his way out of those bad positions. Got back up in round 1, round 2. He had a pretty good round 2. He actually was landing some pretty damaging shots on Glover, but Glover would find his way on top, find the back, try a rear naked choke attempt. But Jiri would always do the right things. Stop the hooks from going in, roll his hips over, escape his hips back, get back to his knees against the cage, find his way to the cage to separate the hands and stuff like that, find the underhooks, separate his legs. He actually had really correct takedown defense. Of course, Glover's a better grappler, so he's going to get down Jiri anyway. But Jiri had impressive takedown defense, in my opinion. Really impressive takedown defense. Way better than we've seen from him previously in his career. Massively improved in that area. He definitely knew the assignment here against Glover, but man, Glover nearly got it done. Round 2 I gave to Glover as well, because he ended on top and had some good moments towards the end. Jiri was doing good in round 2, but he gave up bottom position. There was some really bad fight IQ moments here. It was a mess of a fight, but I loved every second of it. Round 3, Jiri finds the shot. Conditioning out of this world to be able to keep going after that pace with a cut over his eye. A cut over his eye. Right over his eyebrow. Blood bleeding into it. He's still throwing. Still pushing the fight, still trying to make something happen. He starts teeing up on Glover Teixeira, starts ripping him to the body with vicious combos as well. I mean, I have not seen a fight like this for a while. 43-12 on significant strikes for Jiri Prochazka. He's raining down ground and pound on Glover in round 3. I thought it was a 10-8 round. I'll be honest, that's a 10-8 round I gave out. I didn't give Glover any 10-8s because Jiri always stayed in there and didn't really get dominated per se. Round 2, he even outlanded Glover Teixeira on significant strikes and stuff like that. But round 3, Jiri got a 10-8 round in my opinion. Hurt Glover badly on multiple occasions, had him wobbling all over the place. Ground and pound for days, raining down big shots, looking for some submissions of his own. Big ground and pound all day long, scrambling with Glover, taking the backside position, pinning down the arm, big shots again, elbows as well, slicing open Glover. Glover had a massive cut over his nose and eye at the end of that round as well. 10-8 to Jiri. Round 4, revisited it a little bit. Watching it live, I could see it going Jiri's way. But I've watched it back. Glover did land a lot more on the feet than I remember. Glover started to have some real success on the feet. Some good straight shots. Jiri, in my opinion, was looking for the perfect finish way too much. Like, he was looking for a flying knee a lot. You could see him charging it up. He was looking for, like, a lead uppercut a lot, a front kick to the face. You could tell those were the moves that he was looking for. And Glover started landing some really good shots, but Jiri's chin is ridiculously good. We'll talk about the 5th round in a second that happened. And in round 4, Glover's beating him up a bit, gets him down on the canvas. They're scrambling, they're making bad decisions. Jiri ends up finding himself on bottom or getting back up when he has Glover on bottom. Didn't understand that whatsoever. Stay on top. It's light heavyweight. It's so hard to get out from underneath. Same thing Cyril Gane should have done against Ngannou. Never give up top position at heavyweight or light heavyweight if you have it. It's so hard to get back up from on bottom in heavyweight and light heavyweight. Jiri, round 4, the arm triangle escape. People are forgetting the arm triangle escape. They're really forgetting the arm triangle escape. Glover has the arm triangle on Jiri. Jiri, I don't know how he survived. First of all, there was no taps. He was slapping Glover's head in one of them. There was no submission attempts in or anything like that. There was no strikes being landed. He was just sort of like patting Glover on the back. He wasn't tapping. There was nothing to tap to in those moments. Fair play if when Glover was raining down shots, he tapped him on the side. Or when Glover had the arm triangle, he tapped him on the side. Then it would be a fake tap or a tap. But he was just tapping him. I don't know why he was, because there was no danger that he was in when he was doing it. But they weren't taps to stop the fight or try and trick Glover or anything like that. He was just sort of like feeling his way around, sort of like congratulating Glover at times for even finding himself on top and stuff like that. And Jiri Prochazka would sort of find his way out, The arm triangle in the 4th round was in, and Jiri's just putting his thumbs up, smiling on the ground. I'm good. A locked-in arm triangle. That's over for any other fighter, 100%. And Jiri is just fine in the arm triangle. Thumbs up to the referee. And then roly-polies his way out of the arm triangle, gets back up, and starts charging down Glover. Big knee to the face, body shots, headshots, all the combos. Glover lands back and wobbles Jiri in round 2 and 4. It was a crazy fight. I gave round 4 to Glover, maybe watching it back. It could go Jiri. Jiri was landing some big ground and pound shots. He scrambled, found his way back on top, stopped the back take of Glover, sort of shook him off the top of him and stopped the armbar, stopped everything, all of the submission attempts, found his way on top, landed some big ground and pound shots towards the end of round 4. But Glover did a lot of work early on, so round 4 can go to Glover. Round 5, Jiri was being too dainty on the feet. He was being too lackadaisical on the feet. Glover was touching him up with a jab, with a straight right, started rocking Jiri badly with some big hooks. Jiri was wobbled all over the place. Glover was sort of like trying to follow him up and land some big shots. Then Jiri would shoot on him, and Glover pulled a guillotine. Glover pulled a guillotine in round 5. The decision making in this fight of Jiri going for a sub and ending up on bottom. He went for an arm triangle in round 3. He should have just kept punching in round 3. He would have finished Glover Teixeira likely. But he went for an arm triangle, ended up on bottom. Glover ended up on top at the end of the 3rd round. Round 4, Glover's doing his thing, goes for the back take, but they're slippy, so he slips off the top and stuff like that. Round 5, Jiri shoots. Glover's probably going to get taken down anyway, fair play, so he pulls a guillotine rather than trying to defend it. You always want to try and defend it at light heavyweight and heavyweight. You don't want to be on bottom at any point. And Glover tries to pull a guillotine. Jiri gets out of it, ends up on top, and then Jiri just gets up. Just gets up, dude. Rain down shots, rain down elbows. You were doing good. Just gets back up. Looks for the side control, the crucifix. In round 5, when Jiri got back up, he got rocked, wobbled all over the place, swinging back and forth, throwing spinning back fists, rocks Glover with a big shot. Glover rocks him back again. Jiri's wobbling all over the place again, moving, slipping, dodging, still throwing back at every turn. Got hurt against a cage at one moment. Glover starts throwing some big shots. Jiri was winning the clinch and stuff like that whenever it went there with some stepping elbows and some knees to the body and face. And then in round 5, the craziest, I couldn't take this when it happened live. So many fighters just hold on till the end and accept defeat. So many fighters just do that, man. And Jiri Prochazka, when he had the opportunity to quit the fight, gets his feet on the cage, pushes with all of his might. Big Glover Teixeira, bigger than him, by the way. Jiri's a tall guy, but he didn't really cut too much weight for this fight. Glover really did. He had a really big weight cut for this matchup. He wanted to be big on top. And Jiri's body shots were draining him. And Jiri, at the end of the fight, with a minute left, kicks off of the cage, roly-polies out of it, ends up on top with a roll, gets the wrist control, lands some big shots, side control, big shots. Glover comes back up on a single leg. Jiri sprawls it, separates the grip, big shots again. Then side control with the back take, wrist control, big shots, big shots. Glover gives up his neck. In it goes, rear naked choke, cinched up. He finishes off Glover. Glover can't survive that. Jiri was never going to let him out of that round. Jiri had a mindset, I'm not losing. And you saw him on the ground look up and go, okay, I've got it. Feet on the cage. I'm going for the big finish. I'm going to finish this guy. I'm losing. I know I'm losing. I feel like I'm losing right now. I need to get a finish, and I'm going to try. And so many fighters don't do that. It's so much easier said than done, especially after being rocked the way he was. And he finds a way out of it, man. I don't know how he was in so many fight finishing positions and he kept finding his way out. And Glover, was in so many fight finishing positions himself, and Jiri was beating him up, and Glover kept fighting back and shooting again. And this was the best light heavyweight fight in the history of the sport. I don't care about Jones-Gus. The first 3 rounds of Jones-Gus were terrible compared to this. This had everything, every round, drama at every turn. I can't wait. I know the reaction is all about Glover. I don't want to see a rematch at all. We can't have Glover at the title. He just didn't even defend it. I don't want Glover at the title. He has no followers. He doesn't sell pay-per-views. He's not, people aren't really interested. I know people like Glover, but they don't watch him. That's the problem. People like to say they like the nice people, but they never pay for their pay-per-views. That's the problem in the UFC right now. And all the people that people hate, they love their pay-per-views. They buy them all. So all the people that people don't want, they love secretly and watch all the time. But all the people that people love, they hate and don't really watch at all or back up their words with. Like, we don't want Glover in the title picture. I say the winner of Anthony Smith versus Magomed Ankalaev. Hopefully that's an interesting matchup. And my word, I can't believe this. Jiri Prochazka is a savage. I want to talk more about this. I talked about it for like an hour after the stream with the chat. I can't believe what Jiri did. And mate, I had him as the underdog. I know a lot of people are going to see this as Glover defied the odds. I had a real hunch Glover should be the favourite. Stop doubting Glover. Jiri has shown a bad ground game in his career. Glover's going to dominate him on the ground. To see Jiri, Blachowicz didn't have a scramble in him. Black belt in jiu-jitsu. I've been around the sport for as long as he has. Didn't have a scramble for Glover. Neither did Santos. Neither did Smith. Black belt, been around the sport for as long as he has. They didn't have a chance on the ground with Glover. Not a chance on the ground with Glover. No one has ever had a chance on the ground with Glover. Krylov had some moments, but Glover won that on dominant positions. Jiri made it happen. He was given the worst matchup for himself, and he made it happen. And I think he'll be champ for a little bit. He might get chinned at some point. I want to see Adesanya Jiri. I want to see Jiri versus Blachowicz. I want to see Jiri versus the winner of Smith versus Ankalaev. I want to see all of it with Jiri. Give him the top matchups. He'll lose it at some point, because that's just his style. But I want to watch it. He might win it. He might lose it. It's going to be a gamble every time with Jiri. He'll get it back, though, at some point. He'll be around for a while. He's 29. Glover's 40-something. Jiri Prochazka is 29 years old. I can't believe the ending of that fight. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Hopefully I did that justice. Toodle pip. I'll see you later. Goodbye.